those that came from distance down here to Dartmouth. On behalf of our 2nd Bristol and Plymouth State Senatorial District, the Republican Party that comprise that district, thank you so much for coming down. We have a very exciting forum this evening. We're looking for transparency in the way that our grassroots Republican committees and organizations can cooperate to form a better and more cohesive entity here in South Coast and across our Commonwealth. My name is Nathan Pierce. I'm chairman of the New Bedford Republican Party, and I'm joined tonight by a lot of very distinguished young men and women who have helped me and the State Committee Man, Brock, and State Committee Woman Jill help host this event this evening. I want to recognize a couple of folks before we get underway. Before we do, I'd like to please request that Mr. Todd Bullitt help us rise and as we salute the flag.
We pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before I kick things off this evening, I appreciate so much of the hard work and the energy before our last election cycle. In this group, we have activists that have worked tirelessly around the clock to ensure that our candidates, our grassroots support, has been excellent. In South Coast, we have been successful. We've elected city councilors, we've elected school committee representatives. Our parties are growing. In New Bedford, you've seen a New Bedford Republican Party that's quintupled its budget. It's been great. We've seen a rise and an influx of young men and women who are eager to tackle some of the issues that we have. We've grown our implementation on our action plans, and we're ready to step up. I challenge you in this room to continue to join me, continue to join our South Coast GOP network as we raise the banner and really take the issues ones first. There's one individual in this room that I really want to recognize before I kick off tonight's forum. It's an individual that I think has really represented all that grassroots activism is about in this particular district. It's not going to be a surprise to many of you here. This individual has been honored recently for his efforts in support of Republican operations here in South Coast. This individual has been a critical element of our phone banking, not just for membership, but also for Massachusetts, for John McCain, for Jeff Beattie for the United States Senate, for Earl Henry Shalley for the United States Congress, as well as even for this event tonight. For those of you that checked out your New Bedford Standard Times this past Sunday, it honored my Vice Chairman, Ryan Dixon, for his work, his tireless efforts in leading our party. I wouldn't get very far without his support, and I want to extend our thanks as a South Coast GOP network and friends. Ryan, I want to honor you this evening in front of all these folks because you have done a great job, and you're the reason that we've got some candidates here tonight. They're going to help us, help our committees do what you have done such a great job in leading for us. I want everyone to please join me in extending a very hearty round of applause for Ryan Dixon. Ryan's a little bit modest, so I won't put Ryan on the spot to speak. The way we've worked out in New Bedford is I do the talking, he does the work. Neither of our candidates tonight endorsed that specific platform, by the way. That's right, you get me all week. We have a good forum up here tonight, folks. Our format is going to be informal. As some of you know from joining us in New Bedford, we like to run things pretty concretely in New Bedford. We want to be a little bit informal tonight. The idea of having this format is that we can really engage those activists that came out tonight to spend some time with us. We want lots of questions. What we're going to do first is, do we have both candidates in the room? Just a little bit. Excellent. We're going to kick. Very good. Very good. Before I do kick things off with Jennifer, I do want to just also please show some appreciation for the work that our two representatives from the State Committee have done this season. I want to recognize Ms. Jill Marie Usack for her efforts as State Committee woman. Thank you very much. And for those of you that have not received 9 or 10 emails a day, I'd like to who has not. I do want to recognize, as both personally and professionally, I do want to recognize our State Committee man, Brock and Cordero of Dartmouth. Brock has been the sort of State Committee liaison that we need to encourage in the Commonwealth. Brock's persistence, his perseverance, his superior attention to detail, and his eloquence, his leadership style, has absolutely been a role model presence for me, and I appreciate the work that we've done in growing our committees. I hope that our two State Committee representatives will continue to bridge the specific ideology that helps bring together both our grassroots organizations and our Massachusetts Republican Party. Join us. For those of you that have already joined the cause, we're excited to have them. We're excited to take this particular format to the next level. We're going to begin our format now. Our first candidate attempting to be our next chairperson of the Massachusetts Republican Party is Ms. Jennifer Nassour.
Hello, everyone. Sorry. PowerPoint presentation, so I wanted to get it up there so everyone could kind of follow along with what I've done.
While we're getting our technical aspects available, I do want to recognize another individual among us who has been a key contributor to raising our activities both here in South Coast and across the Commonwealth. South Coast has had the distinct privilege of working with this individual on behalf of the Jeff Beattie for the United States Senate campaign. Joe Manzoli has been an inspiration for us, trying to herald our message. We ran a great campaign, and Joe, I'd like to invite you to stand and recognize some of the
Listen, I want to let everybody know, first of all, Jeff sends his regrets not coming down here because he personally wanted to thank the South Coast, especially Dartmouth, but we know that you guys worked so hard for us, John and Bob, and of course, Floyd Durall. I can't say enough about that. Katie, she just was terrific on our committee. And yeah, we traveled all over the state, built a grassroots organization that we've never seen in a long time. And being an old football coach, I often say that, players win, coaches lose, and being a coach with the team, I'll take the loss in this one. But when you look back, you learn from losing. I always told our kids that you learn from losing. And one of the things that we found is that across this state, from Pittsfield to Plymouth, Dartmouth, we used to call this in the old days when I ran the police campaign, part of the Ivy League territory, Dartmouth to Princeton and Harvard. The fact is that we had an unbelievable turnout of just grassroots support, ordinary people doing extraordinary things on a day-to-day basis. And I commend you. I commend all of you. And I commend what's happening here because although we didn't come up with W's this election cycle, what you did come up with is a renewed sense that, you know what, if you work together, if you work in concert, and you're behind the right people, we'll win. Our party needs to be reorganized.